just tuned in, we are today, although not all week, looking largely at royal-based stories. This one is not. This is a royal story we could have at any point. It's not like the queue. It's not unique to this week or indeed this day. It's about the woman Meghan Markle, as was the Duchess of Sussex, as is. And I've got two reservations about having this conversation. The first is, I never know how much store we should set by social media bonfires, however huge they may appear to be. But that concern is assuaged by the fact that some household name, quotes, journalists, end quotes, in this country have grown very fat of late upon the diet of abusing this woman for reasons that continue to elude me, and abusing her in the vilest ways. And the second reservation I have is that today is Prince Harry's birthday. And it would therefore perhaps be inappropriate to have a conversation about why so many ghouls and vampires have such a problem with his wife. But I've decided that it's unlikely Harry will be listening today. I know he likes to tune in whenever he's in town, and he's a devil for the podcasts. But I'm fairly confident that he won't be listening live to the programme today. And even if he was, he would find nothing to complain about from what I have to say about him and his wife. Indeed, I think Prince Charles put it extremely well during his address to the nation last Thursday night. Here it is. Friday, was it? Sorry. Last Friday night.
With Catherine beside him, our new Prince and Princess of Wales will, I know, continue to inspire and lead our national conversations, helping to bring the marginal to the centre ground, where vital help can be given. I want also to express my love for Harry and Meghan as they continue to build their lives overseas.
And these people who describe themselves as fans of the royal family, or as monarchists, or as royalists, choose a day like today or a day like yesterday to abuse the man and woman that Charles himself, the King of England, King Charles, chose to describe his love for in the most clear and incontrovertible of terms. And that's part of the confusion I have about these people.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the latest controversy surrounding Harry and Meghan, as James O'Brien takes a bold stand against the toxic critics who are making headlines for all the wrong reasons. He calls out the vicious, vile individuals who have taken issue with the couple simply holding hands. Join us as we unpack this absurd backlash and discuss why celebrating love should always trump negativity. Let's get started. Royal Rift, the controversial departure of Harry and Meghan. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, sent shockwaves through the British monarchy and captivated global attention with their unprecedented decision to step back from their roles as senior royals in January 2020. This bombshell announcement, dubbed Megxit by the press, ignited a firestorm of controversy and divided public opinion. While some applauded the couple's bold move towards independence and privacy, others criticized it as a dereliction of duty and a snub to the Queen. The ensuing media frenzy and public scrutiny only intensified the already strained relationships within the royal family, turning what might have been a personal choice into a full-blown constitutional crisis. James O'Brien slams critics of Harry and Meghan's public affection. LBC radio host James O'Brien didn't mince words when addressing the latest wave of criticism aimed at the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. In a scathing rebuke, O'Brien took aim at those who've been voicing their disapproval of Harry and Meghan's public displays of affection, particularly their habit of holding hands. With his characteristic sharp wit and no-nonsense approach, O'Brien lambasted what he termed vicious, vile individuals who seem to take issue with every move the couple makes. He pointedly questioned the motives of these critics, suggesting that their relentless negativity says more about their own character flaws than any perceived impropriety on the part of Harry and Meghan. O'Brien's passionate defense of the couple highlighted the absurdity of fixating on such a harmless gesture as hand-holding, especially in light of the more pressing issues facing the world today. The absurdity of royal PDA outrage. And then, of course, there's the hand-holding. Good grief, you'd think the Duke and Duchess had committed high treason. The sheer audacity of two married people, shock horror, displaying affection in public. It's enough to make the pearl clutchers reach for their smelling salts. These vicious, vile individuals, as I'm inclined to call them, seem to have nothing better to do than tut-tut over a bit of royal PDA. They're positively frothing at the mouth over what they deem inappropriate behavior. Heaven forbid a couple in love should actually look like they're in love. It's almost as if they expect Harry and Meghan to glide around like animatronic figures from Madame Tussauds, devoid of any human warmth or connection. Honestly, the mind boggles. Radio host defends royal couple's affectionate gestures. O'Brien, in his characteristic no-nonsense style, staunchly defended the Duke and Duchess of Sussex against their critics. He argued that their public displays of affection, such as hand-holding, were not only perfectly natural, but also a refreshing challenge to outdated social norms. With a mixture of exasperation and incredulity, O'Brien pointed out the absurdity of vilifying a married couple for showing affection, suggesting that such criticism stems from a place of bitterness and misplaced traditionalism. He emphasized that normalizing these gestures of love and support in public spaces, even among royalty, is a positive step towards a more emotionally open society. O'Brien's impassioned defense served as a stark reminder of the need to reassess and update societal expectations, particularly when it comes to expressions of love and connection in the public eye. Royal scrutiny, the unwritten rules of monarchical decorum. Being born into or marrying into the royal family isn't just about tiaras and castles. It's a minefield of unspoken rules and sky-high expectations. These blue-blooded folks find themselves caught in a web of protocols tighter than a corgi's collar, expected to toe the line of centuries-old traditions. From the way they sit to how they eat their scones, every move is under the microscope. And let's not even get started on the pressure to be walking, talking embodiments of British stiff upper lip. Heaven forbid a royal should show too much emotion or, gasp, hold hands in public. It's like they're expected to be part human, part museum exhibit, forever frozen in a tableau of perfect polite restraint. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have found themselves caught in a maelstrom of media scrutiny that shows no signs of abating. Every move, every gesture, every whispered word is dissected with a ferocity that would make even the most seasoned celebrity blanch. The press, ever hungry for the next sensational headline, has trained its unforgiving lens on Harry and Meghan with an intensity that borders on obsession. From the pages of tabloids to the endless chatter of social media, the couple faces a barrage of criticism and judgment that seems to know no bounds. It's a relentless onslaught that transforms even the most innocuous of actions into fodder for public debate and often harsh condemnation. The polarizing power of the royal couple, the actions of Harry and Meghan have sparked a veritable firestorm of public opinion, cleaving the populace into two distinct camps. On one side, their ardent supporters laud the couple's courage in challenging the status quo and prioritizing their mental health and family life. These advocates see the Duke and Duchess as brave modernizers, fighting against an outdated and oppressive system. On the other hand, their detractors view their departure from royal duties and subsequent media appearances as nothing short of betrayal, accusing the pair of attention-seeking behavior and disrespect towards the monarchy. This stark division has turned the couple into a lightning rod for debate, with seemingly no middle ground between those who champion their every move and those who criticize their very existence in the public eye. Royal affection sparks public debate. As society evolves, so too do our attitudes towards public displays of affection, even among the royals. The once rigid expectations surrounding royal decorum have begun to shift, with younger members of the monarchy challenging long-standing traditions. This cultural transformation reflects broader changes in societal norms, where the public increasingly values authenticity and emotional openness. The sight of Harry and Meghan holding hands, once considered a breach of protocol, now symbolizes a more relatable and human face of royalty. Yet this shift has not been without its detractors, as some traditionalists cling to outdated notions of propriety, revealing a tension between modernization and the preservation of historical customs. The hypocrisy of royal scrutiny, a tale of double standards. The outrage directed at Harry and Meghan for their public displays of affection reeks of selective indignation and blatant double standards. It's as if the tabloids and armchair critics have donned their finest hypocrisy hats, ready to unleash a torrent of disapproval at the mere sight of the couple's interlocked fingers. Yet, curiously, these same voices fall conspicuously silent when other royals engage in similar behavior. The media's microscope seems firmly fixed on the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, magnifying their every move while conveniently overlooking comparable actions by their royal counterparts. This glaring disparity in coverage not only undermines the credibility of their critics, but also exposes a troubling bias that permeates much of the discourse surrounding Harry and Meghan. It's a stark reminder that in the court of public opinion, not all royals are judged equally, and some are seemingly held to impossibly higher standards than others. The vital role of compassion in public discourse. Amidst the swirling maelstrom of opinions surrounding Harry and Meghan's public displays of affection, we must pause to consider a more profound issue at play. The vitriol directed at the couple for something as innocuous as holding hands speaks volumes about the state of our public discourse. It's high time we injected a much-needed dose of empathy into our conversations, recognizing that behind every headline and soundbite are real human beings with feelings, struggles, and experiences that we may not fully comprehend. By fostering understanding and compassion, we can elevate our discussions beyond petty criticisms and knee-jerk reactions, ultimately creating a more nuanced and constructive dialogue that benefits society as a whole.